Welcome to Mitzvah number 3, the Mitzvah to love God. This sounds pretty easy. It's a feeling. Love God. I feel like I love God. Actually, for the Rambam, it's much more specific on how that love is attained and how that love is fostered, as we'll see. So let's take a look. We've got a lot of text to read today, so let's take a look inside. It is a positive commandment to love the blessed God with all one's heart, spirit, and might. B'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol ma'odecha, as we say in the Shema. As Scripture states, V'yavta es Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol ma'odecha. This is the way towards love for Him. When we will meditate on His activities until we comprehend Him to the extent of our ability, the heart will become inflamed with a love for Him. This is the love that is essential for us. So let a person set his entire thought on affection for the blessed God. A man cannot love the Holy One, blessed is He, except through knowledge, by comprehending Him. Through this knowledge, the affection comes. If the knowledge is little, then a little love. If it is much, then much. Therefore, a person needs to set himself solely to understand and grow wise through the fields of wisdom and comprehension that convey the glory of his Maker, to the extent of the ability that a person has to understand and realize. Let's take a moment just to comment on that. For Maimonides, and by extension here the Chafetz Chaim, for Maimonides, love of God comes from intellectual pursuit. The more that we realize how amazing God is, the more we're going to be blown away and we're going to become effectively lovesick over God, where we just can't think about anything else. It's an intellectual apprehension that brings us to a desire to greater intellectual apprehension. And that passion for greater intellectual apprehension is what's known as love of God. This is a very Maimonidean definition. There is a mitzvah to love God. That's not a question. Whether it is limited to intellectual apprehension that brings about some sort of an emotional reaction, there's a great deal of disagreement about. I think that is obvious. There are other ways for one to foster their passion for God other than intellectual apprehension. But again, for Maimonides, who's very much the Aristotelian philosopher, this is the way. Now, let's continue to the second paragraph because there's an interesting extension of this mitzvah here. This is among the commandments that a person has a duty to observe at every occasion and every moment. Okay, there are certain mitzvos called mitzvos temedios. There are certain mitzvos that a person could really do anytime, anywhere, and should pursue anytime, anywhere if they can. One of them is to love God. Okay, included in this mitzvah is the obligation to bring human beings closer to His service and worship, blessed is He, and to make Him beloved by His human beings, as Abraham our father did. As Scripture states, in the souls that they had formed in Haran, when it talks about Abraham and Sarah coming to the land of Israel, it mentions that they brought with them the souls that they had made in Haran. For this reason, the Holy One, blessed is He, called him His friend, called Abraham His friend, as it says, Abraham my friend. Interestingly, right? If you really love something, if you truly love something, you're going to share it with other people. You can't keep it to yourself. You have to let people know. You're bursting with love. So once a person attains a love of God, they're going to want to share it with other people, and in particular with people who have not, unfortunately for them, experienced love of God. And so we have an extension of the mitzvah to love God is the mitzvah to as well cause others to love God, through what is referred to here, lekare b'nei adam, to bring others to do what nowadays people like to call kiruv, to bring other people closer to God, to let other people see through your own enthusiasm, as well as through your own intellectual accomplishments perhaps, to let other people see and to share with them the beauty of our tradition, the beauty of love of God and love of Torah. The passion that we have for spreading the beauty of God and Torah and Judaism is reflective of how much we love God. Everybody have a beautiful day. We'll be back next time with mitzvah number 4, which would seem to be the opposite, but we'll see that it is not. And that is mitzvah saseh liro es Hashem. It is a positive commandment to fear God. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.